Alright, so my video cut off on the last post, so I'm going to reread the question. Peace, my family. Alright, so question: was the Immaculate Conception of Mary that Christians preach true? Question. And this is, I'm actually Dr. Malachi answer. This was a fantastic story that the Christians preachers have concocted in hopes of brainwashing into thinking that God, as they call him, put a child into Mary's womb. This is a hoax. No woman in history, nor in this day and time, has ever conceived a child without the aid of a man. It has never been the will of the Almighty for women to reproduce by herself. If you know this to be untrue, then you have to show me in the scriptures where women have conceived children without a man and only by the will of the Almighty. To believe in Immaculate Conception is to believe that a new God merely placed a seed in Mary's body by saying, "Kun fayakun," exists, and it existed. If this was the case, wouldn't it have been easier to just create a full-grown man, Abashir? It would have sped up the events concerning Jesus' life, and it would have been easier for both Joseph and Mary. Why didn't God do this? Question. He did it with Adam according to the Quran. In addition, wouldn't that have been the most simple, most ideal formula for all the great teachers of Eli to be born? This would eliminate having to groom women to have, or having to groom women to give birth to people such as these great teachers. Couldn't he have just made the trees, the birds and flowers already full grown without starting as a seed and going through the developmental staging or the stages? We definitely wouldn't have to wait to eat. Anu could have made it this way, but he didn't. Just as much as he could have made all things asexual, but he didn't. Jesus, on the other hand, was created from gushing water sperm. He did not have he did have a mother and a father. He did have a mother and father. For the Creator to have produced a child in the womb of Mary without a sperm would mean that Mary's entire composition was changed so that she would also have a Y chromosome in order to produce a male child by herself without the aid of a man. Women don't possess this Y chromosome. It is the male chromosome. Let me explain. Each individual sperm of a male carries neither an X or an Y chromosome, and the female egg just carries an X chromosome. In order for a male to be conceived, a sperm carrying the Y chromosome must meet the female egg carrying the X chromosome. This union causes the combination XY, which develops into a male child. In Mary's case, she's being a female only possessed two X chromosomes. So, in Mary's case, she being a female only possessed two X chromosomes. There is no way possible she could have received a Y chromosome without the help of a mortal sperm. Now, I asked you, where did she get the Y chromosome from? Question. Are you saying that your God has physical attributes of a human being? If you believe that God to be supreme, then why would you give then why would you give him human attributes? If you believe God to be supreme, then why would you give him human attributes? Again, are you saying that your God has physical attributes of a human being? If you believe God to be supreme, then why would you give him human attributes? The conception of Jesus 2,000 years ago took place between the angelic being Gabriel, who was a man, and Mary. However, the angelic being Gabriel had the XX chromosomes, which is the opposite of a normal man on earth, which is XY. It is reversed for incarnated angelic beings in human form. The point is that Mary did not conceive Jesus by herself. She had the YX chromosome from the angelic being Gabriel. By acknowledging names given to Jesus throughout the scriptures, you will see that Jesus, the Son of Mary, has been given many titles, all of which describes the many gifts that a new God has bestowed upon him as a son of the Anunnaki. These qualities enabled him to perform many miracles, and this is why it was not impossible for him to transform himself at any given time. Alright, so that right there was the end of his answer. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Again, you are encouraged so much so to check this out yourself if you are interested and want to know more. Alright, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. Again, family, until next time, peace.